Good day, beautiful people. I'm Eliza May Esparas from Bachelor of Physical Education 3A. For today's video, I'm going to elaborate my answer for the given question number 2 for the situation number 1. The Adonis goes virtual. As from Kant's perspective, it says that before we act, we may ask ourselves, what's the maxim of our action? Let's begin with the first situation. Peter has been having serious financial difficulties. He engages in pornography and cybersex as a result of a financial difficulty. Is it morally permissible for Peter to do this? In Peter's situation, the specific conduct that we're looking at is his engaging in prostitution. Prostitution is always deemed morally wrong. According to Kant's ethics principle of universalizability, which is predicated on the 4 categorical imperatives, the universalizability principle is one Kant's categorical imperatives, which states that one should act solely in line with what maxim by which you may, at the same time, wish that it become a universal rule. Let's take prostitution as an instance. To make money, one must engage in pornography. If you consider that prostitution for money is a maxim, you're already universalizing prostitution, since you're telling everyone that we go into prostitution to make money. Basically, Peter is able to earn money by entering prostitution. Then, everyone might be able to enter prostitution for money also. In perspective of Kant's ethical principles, he believes that we should follow universally applicable standards of behavior. Prostitution, on the other hand, is unethical and should be resisted by everybody. As Kant argues, humans can have moral value. Thus, they should never be treated as a means to an end, but as ends in themselves. For some reason, prostitution is legal in other countries, but illegal in ours. Another question is that whether or not I agree with this line of reasoning of the legalization of prostitution. Personally, I strongly oppose the legalizing of prostitution in our country, and as I elaborate my response, please allow me to link my discussion by expressing my thoughts and opinions to the 3 reasons cited for prostitution legalization. To begin, it claims that legalizing prostitution will reduce rape and incident rape because sexual services would be now available. While the idea of reducing the number of cases is appealing, we must keep in mind that it would only reduce the number of rape and incident cases, not completely eliminate them. With that standpoint, I believe it is a poor justification for society major issues, which is rape. Second, it states that curious teenager will be able to explore in a legal and safe environment. The majority of teenagers are interested in learning more about sex. Some of them will take advantage of an opportunity to learn more by engaging with others. They are completely aware that what they are doing is wrong. They are well aware that they should not do it since it is ethically incorrect from an ethical perspective. If we obviously know that it is wrong, why don't we consider sex education, which is intended to educate, as a primary concern? Teenagers' knowledge and attitude about sexual and reproductive health and behavior will improve as a result of sex education. The third reason asserts that those who just enjoy sex may have it whenever they want. As I assess this reason, I use the universalizability principle, which is a formula for humanity. It states that it is an act as to treat humanity, whether in your own person or in that of any other, in every case as an end, never as a means only. So, with that, we must not consider this reasoning to be justifiable, because humanity in this sense is human conduct that cares about other people because of a deeply and widely held belief that living well requires being treated humanely in respect. In addition, we Filipinos are more conservative, with religious views, and that believes that prostitution is immoral because it involves sex for money. Furthermore, since they are more likely to engage in hazardous sexual practices, those who share sex are at a higher risk of contracting or spreading HIV and other sexually transmitted diseases, or the STDs, so this reasoning is poor to be justified. Here is another question. From utilitarian view, does the legalizing prostitution bring about a greater good for the country in terms of reduction in rape and incidents, teenage pregnancy, and HIV/AIDS cases? The utilitarian perspective emphasizes the results or consequences of our action while disregarding our intentions. Furthermore, acts should be assessed in terms of how happy or pleasurable they make people feel. According to utilitarianism, principle of utility, we should constantly act in such a manner that we provide the greatest benefit for the greatest number of people. So, in a utilitarian viewpoint, prostitution is deemed ethically beneficial in contradicting to Kant's perspectives because sex workers give in their bodies to provide pleasure to many people, their customers. Is prostitution bring a greater good in terms of rape and incidents, teenage pregnancy, and HIV/AIDS cases? The question there is that, why rape someone when a prostitute is available? Although a guy has wants, raping young girls and women is the worst thing a man can do. Consider the effects that rape girls experience as they grow up. In this perspective, prostitution is permissible. Some rape victims will get sexually transmitted illness as a result of their ordeal. Men will be able to have a consensual and protected sex if prostitution is allowed, which could help prevent rape. In terms of teenage pregnancy instances, it is possible that the number of cases will decrease because we'll see prostitution as a good method to bring pleasure rather than engaging with teenagers and causing unwanted pregnancy. That concludes my justifications for my responses. I hope you understand my point. Thank you for taking the time to watch, and remember that life is beautiful.